Hello there, fellow Reachers, and welcome back to another fantastic controversial podcast.
Yeah, in this one we're going to be talking about James Johnson, but the last one, the gay podcast, seemed to get a good reception, so thank you all for your support on that one.
It's great to have the gay community as part of the Reicher community.
Definitely. We did promise Anita would be on this one, although she's unable to make it. She did phone in. I think she phoned you, didn't she?
She did. We had a brief chat. She is looking to try and get on before the year is out. The thing is, she actually lives over in Orlando, Florida, and so it's a tricky one because she's disabled, and despite the fact that she has great cognitive brain function, unfortunately she is paralyzed from the neck down. So it's a tricky one trying to book a flight when you've got the body of a Dalek.
Hopefully you can join us on next month's podcast, which is all about the disabled, and conveniently enough, that is the Halloween podcast. So what better podcast to feature these disableds on than the Halloween special?
So we'll get them all dressed up in costumes. We'll have a bit of fun with them. Maybe we'll do like a costume challenge, little competition.
Yeah, maybe get all of the staff members in the podcast studio dressed up, get them to face the wall, and see if you can tell from behind which ones are the cripples.
And that'll be all live streamed on our next episode for Halloween.
Definitely. Join in at home as well, because we'll try and get the video of that up on our live stream on Facebook.
And also we'll have some great prizes to give away, including some blank CDs and some Sharpie pens.
Spot the cripple, that's coming next month.
Well, anyway, enough of that. It's time to obviously get back on to this week's podcast.
Yep, so as I said before, we don't have any special guests this week, which is a shame. But
we have been known recently for our special guests.
The subject matter will be compensating.
And that is James Johnson. Exposed? ?
Yeah, well, he has been very active on Facebook recently, and his actions are questionable into his psyche.
And I think that brings us to our first topic for today, which is James Johnson's philosophy on the power of friendship.
Well, it's pretty much non-existent, to be honest, but
that's just it. I mean, I'm going to read a quick quote from James Johnson himself. This was posted a number of weeks ago.
Right.
And this not only shows the power of addiction, but also the psychotic analysis of how James perceives friendship.
Great.
So here we go. True friends like the same things you do, no matter what. They also stick together, and they've always got your back.
Well, if he thinks that's morally acceptable, he's deranged.
I think that's more controlling, if anything, because it removes any kind of individuality.
That's like me going onto the street and just questioning everyone if they like certain things and then forcing them to be my friend based on that.
Exactly. And then he continues to say, Malcolm Harvey, who we know personally, he's a great friend of ours.
Yeah.
Malcolm Harvey, also known as May to December. I don't think we need to really confirm that, but there you go. Apparently, Malcolm unfriended and blocked James, and to quote James, for his passion of Ghostbusters.
Well, I mean, so would I.
I mean, when you actually piss off everyone you know with a franchise that is practically dead, then that's when you really have to question your moral compass.
I just don't understand why he's so obsessed with her. I mean, it can't be healthy.
It really can't be healthy. You must wake up and instantly the first word you think of, he thinks of is Ghostbusters.
I was chatting to Anita actually on Facebook, and she briefly said that it's a very dangerous compulsion, and he's kind of using it as an outlet because he's got nothing else going for him.
I mean, I can understand that, but even so, it's a bit empty in terms of interests. It's quite repetitive.
But she's really eager to come in and psychoanalyze him.
Yeah, I mean, on the same day, I hope she can analyse Eugene Johnson as well.
Yeah, let's get that out on Halloween. We'll try and get that out on Halloween because it would be very fitting to hear.
And funnily enough, Halloween is Anita's favourite time of the year.
Brilliant.
So that's a double whammy right there for all you reachers out there.
But yeah, I think everybody's blocked him now. So not only is he lonely living in his mum's, his mum's house, his mum's council house, but he's a lonely man-child that obsesses over Ghostbusters. His family don't like him, and now he doesn't have any friends.
I mean, that's the top and bottom of it. That's pretty accurate to what's happened. I mean, I'm surprised the mongier friends of his, such as Ashley Magee, haven't blocked him yet. But I will say he does seem to threaten it. And in the screenshot that we have available in terms of the quote originally written by Johnson about his philosophy on friendship, we have Ashley Magee stating that his Ghostbusters obsession is pissing Ashley off, and that that's all he wants to ever talk about, and that there's more to life than Ghostbusters, which I think for a mongoloid, that's pretty true.
It really is. I may be able to provide more of an insight into Ashley's state of mind, actually, because I had a chat with him on the phone earlier this week, and lo and behold, I managed to capture some of the recordings. So I'll just play a bit of that for you now.
Fantastic. Let's get that lined up on the tape deck. So this is a personal phone call between you and Ashley Magee. Let's play it. And
would it be safe to say, Ashley, that you feel a bit threatened by James's actions?
James is a stupid puss. And he's fucking retarded.
So I hope you understand. We will put subtitles for all of you people that are normal, because I had issues understanding him on that phone call, but I think it was clear the point that he was trying to make.
Doesn't he have some kind of interpreter or something like that?
I don't think he can afford anything like that. He's on benefits.
Right. Well, there you go. I mean, it's good to get sort of an inside contact with some of these people, not only for quotes like that really shine on topics such as this, which is quite controversial, but it's also very expressive, which I can appreciate.
Yeah. I mean, here's a retarded man making other retarded men feel unloved and unwanted in the world, because he's so self-righteous that he doesn't care about his friends. He just wants to use them as a sort of target practice to fire Ghostbusters shite at.
Which is hideous.
It really is.
I mean, I suppose that brings us to our next topic.
Yeah. So Gareth Archer recently, well, not recently, it was 3 years ago. But he recently, I mean, not recently.
We recently watched this.
Yeah. He made a video explaining the history of his friendship with James, and that was quite concerning, to say the least. So basically, James Johnson had promised Gareth some presents, which is a bit arbitrary, but still.
Yeah. I mean, that's what a friendship is the foundation of, just giving people DVDs.
Yep, so he openly promised Gareth. The promise went on for about 2 years. He wasn't able to deliver anything to Gareth for unknown reasons.
Probably money. Can't afford the postage.
Yeah, and, well, he never delivered his promise. So when Alex Trinder sent James, out of the kindness of his heart, a load of DVDs. I think there was about 15 DVDs that he sent to him, which must have cost an arm and a leg in postage.
Exactly. You're looking upwards of maybe €8 there.
Yeah. Sent them to James. James was pissed off because they were used instead of new sealed. And he refused to showcase them on his channel because of that reason.
Just because they were used?
Yeah, so that is a bit hypocritical because James would never buy anything new to send.
Exactly, I think it's pretty pathetic, and then again, he was also apparently doing a giveaway to Gareth Archer with those presents, which were gifts that Alex Trinder sent to him in the first place.
Yeah,
Halloween 2 and that Jim Carrey movie, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
I mean, that just illustrates my point right there. He's giving away shit himself, arguably in a lot worse condition than Alex Trinder.
Like you said, he's a hypocrite.
Yeah. I mean, to get embarrassed over someone sending you something out of the goodness of the heart is...
Well, he was embarrassed because they were used, but I don't see why that should really impact the thought that counts, which is giving something away to someone that you apparently clearly care about as a friend. But obviously James doesn't see it that way, and that's probably why he doesn't have any friends.
Exactly, but he's a hypocrite in another sense as well, because he's received stuff in the past from Buzz On Man, and because of Buzz On Man's status in the YouTube community, he's just shown them on his channel for views.
I bet those videos were done instantly, but poor Alex Trinder, he didn't even get a package opening video from James.
Unbelievable. And even after Alex Trinder calling James his brother.
Yeah. Here's footage of that for all you reachers out there.
Is my baby.
Alex is my brother.
Your brother.
My brother.
Your brother. James is my baby.
There we go. You see what I mean? Alex is his brother.
Yeah. So James is his baby, Alex is his brother. So you can't get gayer than that, can you? And in that gay relationship, refusals were inevitable.
And clearly they've now split up, and Alex went on to university, and James is still sat in his pants talking a load of bollocks.
Well, I mean, it's because Alex is in the real world. He's doing things. He's going places. James, he's got nothing going for him. His only real quality is his ability to mop up sick, and then again, we don't know if he can do that competently.
Exactly, and we aren't even willing to hire him to give that a test shot, because we genuinely think he wouldn't be.
Nah, well, he wouldn't pass the health and safety training.
Exactly, so he's basically blown his bridges there.
For sure, but that just goes to show you what an ungrateful, spiteful little man he is.
And it's all an act. Even Gareth Archer, in his sort of documentary-style unveiling video, sort of exposing Johnson for who he really is, he really gave and portrayed a new light to James Johnson.
Well, it just doesn't seem he can maintain any kind of friendship.
That's just it. I mean, I'm sick of him.
Same. Which brings us on to our latest feature, our new feature for the podcast, Annoying James Johnson.
This was sent in by a fellow fan and YouTube subscriber, Boris, the special yellow person.
Brilliant. And what's this? His post on his VHS sale. So basically, yeah, I remember this now. So James, 10 years ago,
nearly 10 years ago on his old YouTube channel,
he made a video about giving away or selling a load of VHS tapes. And I can't really remember what price.
I've got the email here from Boris, if I'm okay to read that on air.
Yeah, go for it.
I hope Boris is okay with that. I mean, it's a public fan mail service, so I hope that he's okay with it. And if you yourself would like to send him some fan mail, email in at reacherpodcast@gmail.com.
Right, let's crack on with the email.
There we go. So, Johnson, this is what Boris has written in. So it's called subject line, Johnson exposed in capitals.
Wow.
Yeah. So he emails in, Dear Reacher Podcast, I am a huge fan and I have watched all your episodes back to back. He then goes on to send us an image and he says, this was on Johnson's Facebook page. He was trying to sell old videotapes for £800.
What?
Yeah, £800. That's mental.
Wow.
Yeah. Boris then goes on to say, I did not believe this to be accurate. I then priced up the pricing list in the description of the original video from 2012 and discovered a discrepancy. He then adds another screenshot where he basically says in the comments section of the Facebook post, you're asking for £800, but as per your price list in the description for all the VHS tapes, it's only £150. Didn't think that through, did you? You are an idiot.
Wow, so not only is James a bad friend, a bad family member,
A liar.
bad person, but he is a scammer.
And a liar.
And a liar.
So, Boris then went on to say, I love your channel and all that you do. Keep up the great content, and I hope to one day feature on one of your podcasts.
Well, thank you very much, Boris. We might get you in next month on the Halloween special if your work situation allows it.
And if you've got a kooky costume, then by all means, you can partake in our
I've just seen your
competition.
image. That won't be necessary.
You don't think he deserves a costume?
No, he looks freakish. Not as freakish as James, mind, but he does look like a freak.
There you
I
go,
am sorry.
Boris. So you've got free entry into our costume contest.
Brilliant. You are likely to win looking like that as well. Sorry, mate.
Anyway, that's the first round of fan mail, which I suppose leads us straight into the feature that you spoke of before, if you'd like to give us some more information on that.
Yeah. What is that, Annoying James Johnson?
Something like that. A title can be a work in progress.
Yeah, so basically, if you have a Facebook account, or a Twitter account, or a YouTube account even, you can troll James Johnson for a chance to feature on our podcast. We will select the most funny annoyances.
And you can be entered in to win our lucky prize draw.
Yeah, which at the moment we've got all new sealed DVDs that you can win. None of that rubbish that you'd get from James's giveaways, but
Nothing used.
no. So we do have the new sealed DVD box set of Father Ted.
Father Ted. Wow. Is that Men in Black 2 I see as well? Was that donated by fellow subscriber Ken Kong?
Yes, that is. That's also a new sealed one. That's region 4. That. So if you don't have a multi-region DVD player, you won't be able to play that, unfortunately. But all of our DVDs are provided by legit salesman King Kong, so you're in with a chance of winning some big time prizes here.
And we've also got a book on tape of Black Beauty and some onions.
Brilliant. What more can you ask for?
Exactly.
We also have free signed CDs from Ross Wilcox's new album, Fly Me to Your Knickerjaw.
Which, funnily enough, debuted on our previous podcast show.
We did have 5 initially, but as the hosts of the podcast, we saw the opportunity and took 2 for ourselves. So.
1 each. So that'll be going on the mantelpiece at home.
Yep. So get trolling, and you could be in for a chance of winning some big time prizes.
And we'll announce the winner on our next show. So just email in a screenshot to reachyourpodcast@gmail.com. Because we probably won't be able to view it since basically James thinks he's got an in with Google, and he basically just privates anything and everything, which is probably why he has no friends, fans, or comments, because he basically blocks everything. So in order for you to partake in this competition, I'm afraid you'll have to basically add a screenshot of your annoyances and email that in.
Also, another feature we're going to be doing next time, because it's going to be the Halloween special, it's going to be the costume contest. So if you think you're ugly enough, just send in a selfie. But if you need to work on your costume, basically try and make it uglier than James Johnson.
It's a good mirror image to work off of.
And we will pick out the winners. And he could be in for a chance of actually featuring on the podcast. So.
Yeah, and I believe Anita will be in on that week, and she will be judging the best, worst costume.
Definitely. So stay tuned for that episode. And yeah.
I think that brings us to our conclusion.
Yeah, link below to James's channel and all of his social media accounts.
And get to the trolling, as we call it, and you'll be in a chance of winning some great prizes.
Definitely, I think there's a a toaster up for grabs as well, which I think that is pre-owned. Actually, I think that's something Ross Wilcott left behind last. Oh, what's all that shit in it? For fuck's sake!
Is that mouldy sausages and a knife?
That's fucking grim. Right, that's going right in the bin. Forget about that.
We won't be giving away that toaster, but if any electrical appliance web stores out there would like to sponsor us, then we can feature your name on the podcast, and all you have to do is give us a toaster to give away.
Absolutely. So, yeah, I guess stay tuned for the next one.
And to conclude, we've got a great sort of comparison to make. And that would be with
I forgot about that.
Certainly one of your favourite films, I think.
Absolutely. So, I'm sure you're all familiar with Wizard of Oz, the 1930s classic. The particular scene I'm talking about is the one where the Wicked Witch is trapped under the house. Wearing the red slippers. I went on James's Channy channel and saw a very uncanny likeliness to that.
Well, I can't actually physically go on the tranny channel due to nausea. Like, I genuinely... I'm sick whenever I go on there.
I just have a morbid fascination. That's why I love horror movies. I mean, I just can't get enough freaks.
But we've made a cheeky edit.
Yep, so that'll show up on the screen right now.
And we'll try and get that on the thumbnail as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So
just a little bit more exposure for you. So that's going to do it for this episode of the Reicher podcast. I hope you fellow Reichers out there have enjoyed this installment.
Yep, and like I said before, it's going to be the Halloween special next month, so we've got a lot planned.
Don't miss it.
Right, see you later.
Goodbye, everyone.